Welcome to the Moon Magic Tarot channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's readings, we are going to be asking, when will you meet your soulmate? And also for information about how will you meet your soulmate? And to guide you in, we are going to draw from the Romance Angels Oracle. We're going to take 3 cards, and we're also going to use runes and charms as well, for those of you that like that little bit of extra information to help with your intuition. So reading number 1, you have keep an open mind. Okay, this is your card. Reading number 2, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Okay, and reading number 3, we have stay optimistic about your love life. Okay, so we're going to draw a rune and a charm for each. Okay, 2 for that. There we are. Those are our runes. We'll turn them over in just a moment. Okay, right, so reading number 1, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. You have the rune of flow, and you have the charm of the cross. Reading number 2, you have a shield with a 5-petaled flower on it. That is your charm. And your runes, 2 runes for this. Signs, this is the rune of signs, signals and synchronicities, and the rune of joy, worth waiting for. Let's pop those there. And reading number 3, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. We have the rune of growth, Berkana. And you have here the charm. It says, oh wow, do you know this is beautiful? So we have a butterfly. If I just show this to you, I'm going to turn it over because on the reverse it says created for you. I don't know if the camera will focus in on that. I think I might have trouble getting the camera to focus. Yeah, maybe it will just do that. Yeah, my apologies if you can't see that. It's a self-focus camera, but this says created for you. Okay, so Super Souls, I'm going to leave the video running just for a few moments to give you a little bit of extra time if you need it, and press the pause button if you need any longer. You may find that more than one reading is speaking to you. If it is, I would trust your gut feeling and listen to more than one reading, because what you might find, as these are general readings, is that there may be a specific message that is coming through for you within more than one of the readings. So it's worth listening in if your intuition and your gut feeling is really potentially leading you to more than one. Super Souls, I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Welcome, reading number 1. You have been guided into this reading by the card Keep an Open Mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. We have the sign of the cross, and we also have the rune of flow. Now, I'm finding this very interesting already with the sign of the cross. I'm wondering as well whether there could be for some of you, some aspect of either your spirituality or some aspect of even religion that maybe this person will be out of that which you are familiar with, maybe different to the kind of orientation you grew up with in some way. Very, very interesting here. What we're going to do, I think, is firstly we are going to place this card up here. I'm going to look at timings first of all. We're going to throw the astrology dice, and we're also going to draw from some astrology cards as well, just to look at timings. So we have the sun in Libra. Okay, so this may be indicating that when we are in the time of Libra, when the sun is in Libra, this may be that timing may be perfect for you. That may be the timing we're seeing. It could also indicate that something needs to come into balance. Libra is about balance and harmony. It may mean that something has to line up, something has to come into balance before you can meet this person. But we're going to place these here, draw from a couple of other packs and see what we're shown. Just in terms of timings, may we ask please about timings for reading number 1? I'll take those 4 actually, and another astrology pack as well. Okay, let's see what we have. So we have the moon, perception. We have Mars, motion. Ooh, this is really interesting. We have 6th house, sustainability. And we have Pisces, sensitize. Then we have fire element, desire. Okay, this is very interesting in terms of timing. We are asking, when? When is reading number 1 going to meet their soulmate? What I do see here, and I think this is really, really interesting, is we're tuning in with the rune of flow. Now, the rune of flow speaks of the ebb and flow of careers, the ebb and flow of emotions, the ebb and flow of relationships. 6th house, sustainability, Pisces, sensitize, Mars, motion, and the moon, perception. I kind of said, maybe this would indicate when the sun is in Libra, that could be the timing for you, reading number 1. But I also said it may be that something has to come into balance. What I do think this reading is saying to you is that there are certain times within the cycle of the moon each month. So the moon, she takes about 29.5 days approximately. She doesn't align with our calendar, our monthly calendar. So a moon month is different to a calendar month. When we work with the moon cycles, and I'm very, very big on manifesting with the moon, for any of you guys who are new to me or my channel, you'll know if you subscribe and press the little bell icon and you see the updates. I post manifest with the moon updates where we look literally at where the moon is and when she's connecting with certain planets, how she's collaborating, how her energy is supporting and influencing all of us ultimately. The moon's energy is very, very powerful. She's our satellite, but she heightens the energy of some of the other collaborations. What I'm seeing here, the very first thing is that I feel within every monthly cycle of the moon, there will be a pivotal time for you guys when the energy will flow better for you. Okay? Somehow there's a time of the moon's cycle. If you start to work with the moon, you'll realize as you develop a personal relationship with the moon, you'll realize that there are, when she's going through certain signs or certain phases of the moon, that will affect you personally in a particular way. So for example, you might find when the moon is in Pisces, you are particularly sensitive. You might find when the moon is in Libra, that you are much more steady, you're more able to balance things, you're more harmonious, things don't get you down as much. But there's something here that's being given to you here by your guides, your spirit team. They're saying to you that there is a time during each monthly cycle that is particularly favourable for you personally. Now I could ask for a lot more information, but this is a general reading, and this is really highlighting that there's something very personal to each of you. There's a timing. It's almost as if there's a point when the moon, her phase is making you particularly, So I'm trying to think what's the word I'm looking for. It's not responsive. You're always responsive and sensitive. It's as if there's a particular phase when you are more available to receive, when things can move forwards more quickly. There's something about your own energy levels that make you more receptive to receiving. Okay, that's what I'm really... Because I think what happens is that sometimes your sensitivity actually almost gets in the way. Okay, now there is nothing wrong with being sensitive, and I really, really honour you reading number one. I think if the world was full of really, really sensitive people, it would be a much nicer place. We need people who are sensitive. We need people who are empathic. You only have to look around the world and you realise so many of humanity's problems would not be there if people were sensitive to one another, you know, had that sensitivity. So I really honour you and thank you for checking in on these readings and being here, you know, as part of this YouTube community, for those of you who are subscribed and are a part of the things that I do here. We need your sensitivity. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You have, you know, sensitive souls are a gift to this planet. They are a gift to humanity. However, I think that sensitive people need to learn to manage their sensitivity, because actually, if you are very, very sensitive, then the world can feel a little bit challenging. Because again, if you're new to my channel, I was a psychotherapist, a counsellor for over 28 years. Obviously I still am, but that's my work is now about putting information into the world in a different way. Now, I used to say to people who would come and see me in my practice, if you are ultra sensitive, you're going to need to learn to manage your sensitivity, because it often means sensitive people are very absorbent. You know, if you walk into a room and let's say two people have had a disagreement, you'll pick it up straight away. You'll walk into that room and you'll feel the energy of those two people. And I think that what happens is your sustainability of your let's say the law of attraction, the sustainability of your own energy. Your energy basically is being affected by circumstances and people around you. It's like if you watch the news, for example, and it's really, really challenging, you'll feel it and it will bring you down. Now you're being invited here. There's a really interesting element of fire coming in. Look at the colour here with Mars and the fire element, desire. Okay, it's almost as if what's happening is that sometimes you'll see things in the world, it will bring you down, and as it brings you down, that then colours your ability to feel that your desires will be met, that they can move forwards. It's like despondency is the word that's coming through. And what we're being shown here, and this is very detailed information for you, and I'm very, very grateful to your spirit team for bringing this information in. Your sensitivity is sometimes causing you to be influenced by the stuff that's going on around you. And because you absorb the energy of other people, of other stuff, it kind of gets you down. And when you're in a down place, it means that you look through the lens of feeling, gosh, this is never going to happen. It basically brings you down. Now, what we're being shown here in terms of timing, okay, is that firstly, there is a point in the moon cycles when it's almost as if you are more receptive to receive. You can hold your positivity. Those are the times, and that happens every single month. Within this 29.5 days, there's going to be a phase of the moon where you are more able to hold your energy. You're also being advised to become conscious of how your perception alters during the other phases of the moon, because you can work at writing that. Okay, you can recognize when you're more sensitive, and therefore, you know, for example, if you know that when the moon is approaching a full moon, for example, which is often when people experience much greater heightened emotional sensitivity, if that is the case for you in that build up, then that is the kind of time when you're going to need to sort of, you know, have a salt bath every evening and cleanse yourself. If you meditate, or if you don't meditate regularly, that would be the time to meditate, to get yourself still, to do what you need to do to empty yourself of the stuff that you are absorbing during the day. Because this is about keeping your energy clean and your perception open and available. Okay. What we're also being shown here is, if you can work with this energy, there's something about your, I think we're really being shown something of the how here. I'm going to draw more cards, I think, because there's something of the how that's coming in here as well. So timing wise, we're being shown that there's a particular point in the moon's phases when, you know, again, if you're on a dating site and you get a bit despondent, for example, there'll be a phase of the moon which will work for you. And if you notice that, that will be the time when maybe you get more messages or more likes or whatever. That would be the time for you to be more active in that way, being more active, putting things in motion, you know, holding your desires. So there's something about you becoming an active participant, but not trying to do it all the time, because sustainability is difficult if we don't get what we need coming back. And you're sensitive, so this is how it is. Now, I do feel that, so there's something about the timing that you're able to be an active participant in using this timing to keep your energy in balance, and almost it's like tapping into the universal energy so that this flows into being. It gathers momentum, it flows into being more quickly. So it's almost as if you're being given the key to use the timing for yourself by understanding how this works for you. I hope I haven't spoken, you know, I hope I've spoken clearly enough in that way. I do feel that in essence is a bit of a mixture of both the how as well as the when. But yeah, it sort of feels like the timing in essence is open as well. Almost as if you work out when this pocket of time is every month and you activate that and use it, put things in motion, this could then happen very, very quickly. It could gather momentum very, very quickly. So there's something about your openness, and you're kind of being offered a tool and a way of using divine timing to your advantage. Hopefully that said it a bit clearer. Now I'm going to draw tarot cards now from more than one pack, and we're going to look at the kind of hows around this, because in what sense you're being given a how, but you're not necessarily being given, I guess we just want more information, you know, how, where as well. Maybe you might meet your soulmate. We'll use several tarot packs and see what we're shown. So we're asking for reading number 1 about how, where might their soulmate emerge. Okay, I'm going to take those 4 from this pack, and this one too. Just 1 from this pack, and one from that pack. Let us see what we're shown with these cards. 9 of Swords. Ooh, Page of Cups. Gosh, this is very much reinforcing the message that's come through already for you. 7 of Swords. 6 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles. Oh, we have the card of the Moon again and the Fool. Wow. That's pretty powerful, isn't it? Really? Wow. Okay, let's place this just here. Now, we are being given a ton of information here for you. Super Souls, I should just say as well, sometimes in the comments people ask, you know, what are the cards I'm using? I always put the names of the packs that I'm using in the information box below, and I will try and make sure they're in the comments for phone users as well, so you will be able to find all of the packs that I'm using in any reading, and they'll be listed down there for you. So let's see what we're shown here. The moon is showing up again. Okay. What I'm seeing in this moon card here, see, we have two people here. Literally, what I'm being shown here is you can turn something around. This is really reinforcing for me that you have, you can be a much greater participant in activating this. Look at the Mars energy here. Look at the Mars energy sitting over the Seven of Swords here. We've got this direct sword coming down here. And we have this 7 here. Reading number 1, I feel like you need to get out of your own way. Okay, and I voiced that with a little bit of a chuckle. But I really do think this is reinforcing this element of sensitivity that is, you're being affected by things. Stuff is really like, it weighs heavy, it gets you down, and you get into a space where you're a little bit despondent and feel like it's not going to happen. You're sort of being asked to really, really shift that perception. Okay, now there's something just heavenly happening here, because it's almost like this beautiful card here. It's like these things can really get you down, or alternatively you can sort of like move into a dream space where you open yourself to receiving signs, signals. You allow the universal energy to guide you, which is back to these cycles of the moon again. You allow the energy of the moon, the cycles, the phases of the moon to guide you, to show you when the timing is right, when you are most receptive to receiving. And you also learn to use the influence of the moon to adjust those thinking patterns. Okay. Now, Page of Cups is really interesting because the pages suggest that something again can happen pretty quickly. Page of Cups. But it is interesting because she's looking back. She's holding an hourglass here. So we can see again, and the hourglass, look at that, just has what looks like a tiny little moon above it. Yeah, this is... something's caused you to pause in your sustainability. It's coming through really strongly, reading number 1. This is a general reading, so it may not apply to all of you. But something has caused some of you to press the pause button. You've actually stopped looking. You've actually stepped away from the process of this. And again, your sensitivity. Right, it's really time to get out of your own way and embrace what you want. Okay? Really stop looking back. This is saying, very interesting, stop looking backwards. Reading number 1. I'm going to draw more cards. We're going to follow this through for you. Yeah, ebb and flow of relationships. Ebb and flow of... it's almost as though maybe you met someone and you really, really thought they were the one. And it's been really hard to recover from that. You know when you think, this will obviously not apply to all of you, it's a general reading, but it's when you really, really thought you met someone with so much passion, and then when it didn't work out, it's kind of almost like it's been really hard to realign yourself, to re-find your belief, to re-find that pathway forwards. You can turn this around wholeheartedly. This is what your team are saying. And you know what? It's really time for a new beginning for you, the Fool. This is absolutely the right time for you. Your team are really, really willing you to move forwards and to do this. It's the timing is perfect. And every single moon month, there's going to be a window of opportunity for you to access this. You'll notice it if you start to really listen to your life experiences with that fabulous sensitivity that you have. Listen to your life experiences and recognize in that 28-day, 29.5-day cycle, actually, to be precise. Really listen to yourself. Keep you know, for those of you, I write a moon journal and diary. If you're not familiar with that, just get a notebook. Make a note of where the moon is every day, the phase, the sign. But just really listen to your own sort of sense of being, because there's definitely a window of opportunity for you. And once you know it, literally, you can invest heavily in moving things forwards in that window of time. And then it will gather momentum very, very quickly. Now, everything here is saying, you know, I think you genuinely thought you had met somebody at some point. This is true for a lot of you. And in losing them, or of it not working out, I say losing them, however that happened for you, it's been really, really hard to let go, or to feel that you'll ever feel the same level of passion again. But you will, and things are definitely going to, you know, you're being invited to bring your sensitivity back into balance. Use the sensitivity, your sensitivity, to create new beginnings for yourself. There is literally a pocket of time every month when you are literally able and receptive and responsive. You know, that is the time to wholeheartedly really focus on what you really, really desire. This is not a time to hold on to past beliefs. This is definitely a time to move forwards. Now, let's draw some more cards, because I'd really like to see how this is emerging and what we're being shown. So let's say reading number 1, really tune into this pivotal piece of timing that's offered to them, this window of opportunity. Maybe ask how this might pan out. Could we be given information on this, please? Okay, and let's draw some tarot cards as well. May we ask, please? May we see how, when, where? Well, we think we know something of the when is something to do with you shifting something within you, as if this can then, doorways will open, is really what we're being shown. So, can we be given more information here for reading number 1? Okay, let's have a look. Sisters of the Sacral Spiral. Look at this. Now, do you know what? Could you get a better card? Surrender, sensitive sister. Bear in mind, this is non-gender specific. Surrender, sensitive sister, be moved by the moon. Wow. Gosh, I've got goosebumps. Wow. This is absolutely the confirmation that your team, the universe, are waiting to make this happen, and that there is a pivotal timing issue here that you can access as a tool for yourself. I mean, it could not say it more clearly. And interesting, when we look at Sisters of the Sacred Spiral, spiral, of course, is the energy of creation. One is looking back, but the other is looking forward. It's time for you to re-find trust again. Fearless. Wow. This is absolutely move forwards fearlessly. This could not be a bigger, better indication of what this reading is saying to you. It's a super, super lovely reading. Reading number 1. 5 of Pentacles. 6 of Wands. Judgment. And the 5 of Swords. Okay, this is all about realigning your perceptions. Okay, realigning your perceptions, realigning your energy. It's really interesting. I'm not being given anything specific here about like where, the circumstances. Would you meet somebody if you were, you know, internet dating, or would you meet them at a social event? I'm not seeing anything connected to that, and it may just be because it's a general reading. It's going to be personal to you. It sort of almost feels like the universe is ready to give to you and to create that new beginning for you. And the key is literally just sitting there waiting. Your team is saying, look, you know, the key is here. All you have to do is unlock that door. unlock that door. Six of Wands is success, absolute success, being seen, stepping into the limelight. I love this Judgment card because you see this person here finding freedom, removing this, literally, it's like the spirit is free to fly. The spirit is free to move onwards and upwards, to no longer be held back. This is such an indication of your team saying, look, the universal energy is absolutely ready to support you in manifesting this. All you actually have to do is kind of like literally get out of your own head. It's sort of tangled here, and yet here's this figure, you know, again, launching upwards into freedom. There's a need to literally move out of that space of self-doubt, shift whatever it was that previously happened, move through, beyond, onwards, upwards, fearlessly. I think circumstantially, it's almost as if, you know, I mean, where do you meet someone? You could bump into them in the supermarket. You could, you know, go for a walk in the park. You could join a meditation group. You could, you know, go to a gig. You could be sat in a coffee shop. You could be internet dating. You could be whatever. It doesn't sort of matter. You could be anywhere and at any time. That timing is just gonna happen. It's perfect. And again, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. I feel the biggest message here is that it may also be that you're holding on to, for some of you, the idea of a person that is connected to almost like a not a replica, but you know, the person that you thought was the one. Holding on to, gosh, I want the same person or the same attributes. Some of those attributes will be the same, but they may come in a different shape or form. So there's something about extending beyond something that you had before. And I do think this could happen very suddenly and very unexpectedly, almost just that moment. Suddenly there you are. And it is really feeling for me as if the universe is saying, you know, and your spirit team is saying, look, we hold the key. This is a very sacred kind of, there's sacred timing involved here. You know, we are absolutely with you. And the opportunity for transformation, I feel for you, the hows, the wheres, the whens, reading number 1. I think that there is so much support for you to literally open that doorway for yourself by aligning your energy into a space of possibility, letting go of something. Literally the timing, that there is a window of opportunity. We've been shown this, and literally you can turn something around. I think that the wheres, the hows are almost irrelevant to this reading, because it's kind of like that. It's almost as if the universe has lined this person up for you. They are waiting to come in. They are waiting to connect with you. They are waiting to reconnect, and this is a space of real new beginnings. And it's transformative. It's almost as if the moment you shift into that mindset of availability and keep your energy available for that, in that pivotal piece of timing every month, it will just fall into place. It will just happen. It's almost as if that person is just hovering around you, and the doorway needs to be opened. And it's to do with shifting away from any connection to anything in your world that leaves you in a space where you're dampened, heavy, or feeling like it won't happen. Whether that's a connection to a historical relationship, something that happened before, or whether it is just that you are so absorbent and sensitive to the energy and the attitudes of people around you that it brings you down and sort of knocks you out of balance here. But every essence of this reading is saying this is absolutely divinely possible, and in a very fast and speedy manner, if you can keep your energy in that right zone, and you will find that there is a pocket of time every month when your availability to receive is much more heightened, and you can tune in with that and create that window of opportunity. It's that moment when, again, you know, if you're walking around, you know, let's say I don't know, let's say you're shopping or something and you're walking around a market, if you know that that pocket of time is the time when, you know, you feel more right, that's when you're kind of wanting to be making more eye contact and, you know, because you just know you can. So there's something about using that timing and trusting that you're, you know, this will happen and it will happen quickly. It's almost like the circumstances around it are almost irrelevant. It's about you being in that space of availability, opening that doorway energetically, and bingo, they arrive. Wow, I have really enjoyed this reading. I really have. It's been a fascinating reading number one. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Super Souls, I post readings every Sunday for weekly guidance and lots of spontaneous readings like these, and I put them all into these spontaneous readings into a timeless readings playlist. So if you find you're having a wobble or your energy's low or you need a little bit of extra support or guidance, there are a ton of readings that are there to help and support you. That's what that timeless readings playlist is about. And it's also why I do weekly guidance every Sunday. Super Souls, thank you so much for joining me. If this is resonating with you and you'd like to get notification of anything I do, including the moon stuff, which may be particularly relevant to you, Super Souls, if you subscribe and press the little bell icon, everything I post should come into your stream. And yeah, I put a ton of free stuff into the world, lots and lots of different things that I do. So I'll put all the relevant links to anything and everything that might help you in the information box and the comments, including the names of the cards. And yeah, thank you so much as well for those of you who have been giving back through the super thanks, and also for those of you who are contributing to, you know, to all the things that I do through Patreon in an ongoing way. And I hope you guys are enjoying the tutorials. I'm posting monthly tutorials for my Patreon people as well. Super Souls, tons and tons of love to you. Welcome, reading number 2. You have been guided into this reading by the card Worth Waiting For. Divine timing is at work in your love life. You have 2 runes. The rune of signs, signals, synchronicities. You have the rune of joy, and you have this shield with a 5-petaled star. Okay. Now I'm going to place this up here, and we're actually going to ask about timing first. We're going to draw from the, I'm going to throw the astrology dice and draw from a couple of astrology packs just to see what we're shown about timing, the kind of when for reading number 2. What are we shown for when? Okay, so you have Neptune in Leo. Okay, this is interesting. Neptune is very much connected to our spiritual pathway, higher guidance. Leo, interesting, because Leo is a sign where we often celebrate, you know. With Leo, we can be bold, we can be out there, we can be celebrating. I always feel when the moon moves through Leo, it's a time of, you know, just really saying, do you know, where are we right here and right now, and what's happening that's amazing, and what do we need to celebrate, and how can we, often it takes, for me personally, it takes me into a space of real gratitude, a real here and now present gratitude. Very interesting, that energy that's around here. Signs, signals, synchronicities, and the rune of joy. Right, let's draw more cards before we say too much more. So we are asking about timing for reading number 2. May we be shown something about the timing, the when will reading number 2 meet their soulmate? Okay. That just came out, and you have 2 cards here. So Gemini, I think, and Sun Spirit. This is really connecting to the Leo energy here for me as well. Gemini, I think. What I'm seeing in this card are, again, 2 people coming together. That kind of mirror image. Let's place those here for a moment and look at what other cards we have. So North Node, oh gosh, talk about divine timing, future. Progressions, journey. Oh, look at this, we have Leo again. 6th house, sustainability. This card came out in reading 1. And Leo, shine. Okay. What I feel we're being shown here in terms of timing is that the timing for you guys reading number 2 is connected to some aspect of your own evolutionary pathway. So it's as though a point of celebration, a point when you shine. If you are working on something, there's some aspect of your own journey that you're working on, you're building on. Maybe you're applying for a promotion, or you're working on a project, or you're becoming active in some kind of a community project. But there's something that you're working on, and it's through that particular avenue of work, that particular that's where you're going to meet the connection. We're sort of being shown not just the timing, but the where as well. There's something about progressing through some other aspect of your world that is important to you. We're going to draw some more cards. It's somewhere where you're basically going to shine. It's something that you are either creating. If you're writing a book, for example, it could be through you know, when you send off to agents or publishers, or the book gets out there, there's something about you doing something, and it's through the doing of that I think is also the where you're going to meet this person, the how you're going to meet this person, and therefore it's also to do with the when. So there's something that you are progressing, something you're working on, something you're building. Yeah, really clear here. And that's the divine timing. I do feel that you are probably also being given some very specific signs along the way to help you to sort of sustain that space of knowing that it's worth waiting for. You know, like when you're, let's say you're working on a project or something that you're building, you're working on it, and you're longing to meet your soulmate, but the project is still not actually finished yet, you know, and actually, unfortunately, somehow, I say unfortunately because I don't think it is unfortunate, I think there's something really important about you coming together with somebody who is of like mind. And because this project, or this community project, this whatever it is, the book, the project, the new career, the new moving to a home, a different location, whatever it is, the holiday of your dreams, you're working towards it. It could be literally that, progressions, journey. It could be you're saving up for this trip that you've been longing to do, or you've saved up and it hasn't yet happened. But that's the where, the how, and therefore the timing of this. While you're waiting, I believe you're being given signs and shown signs that are there to, like, to hold hope. You know, it's like when we draw the card of the star, you know, it's like as if signs and signals are being shown to you to help you to remain balanced and positive and optimistic, and almost to know that this is going to come. You know, sometimes when something isn't there immediately and we've been working and working at it from a manifestation perspective, you know, it can be pretty, you know, we can get a bit despondent, I think. That's a human thing, isn't it? I mean, we all do it. And your spirit team are really saying to you, don't be despondent here. You know, this is really, you're progressing. You're building something. You're making it happen. We're seeing these cycles of the moon here. I think you've possibly been, this is something that's taken you several moons to achieve. And the timing of this will be different for you each, because there's something that is unique to you. Obviously, it's a general reading, but there's something very unique to you. The timing of this is really important. It may be that you are going to travel, or that you will go to yeah, it could be the holiday of your dreams, it could be the job of your dreams, it could be that creative project. These are the kinds of things we're seeing here. But whatever it is, it's something in which you shine, okay? And it's because you shine, this creative space of you-ness. And it's because of this that this is where you meet someone of like mind. It's this incredible connection, the joy, the new dawn comes. But the timing, yeah, we're being very shown, very, very clear message here. And I'm also saying that it's spiritually guided. You know, we have Neptune, your spiritual pathway. So again, it could for some of you be connected to some aspect of your calling. It's the next phase of your life in some way, but whatever it is, it's within, it's a circumstance in which you will shine. And you can be celebrating, shining, and that's when this is going to happen. It's connected to something else. Let's draw tarot cards, reading number 2, and see what else we are shown for you. May we be given more information for reading number 2, please. Is this one here I'm seeing? One. For those of you, often people ask questions about which cards I use. I know lots of people do many readings and readers they follow. I do always list the cards that I'm using in the readings in the information box, and I will make sure they're in the comments for phone users too. Okay, yes. Have a look and see what we are shown. Okay, you have the Emperor. Oh wow, leadership. We have the 5 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, the High Priestess. This feels such a card of abundance for a High Priestess. Very interesting reading. Reading number 2, 8 of Cups. Wow. We then have the Queen of Swords and the Princess of Wands. Okay, lovely. Really lovely cards. Let's put these here. So, yeah, this is absolutely about divine timing, and it is worth waiting for. It's absolutely worth waiting for. You know, this is there is something you're working on, and it may be that some of you are climbing up the ladder of something. We've gone through lots of potential possibilities already, but yeah, this is the point. I think basically you get seen. Somebody meets you on equal terms as well. This is really interesting coming through here for you guys. I think possibly in some of your previous relationships, you haven't been met on equal terms with somebody. You know, maybe they were not as emotionally aware as you. Maybe they were not on the same wavelength. You know, I don't mean circumstantially necessarily, but this is about you finding absolutely the right person. It is worth waiting for. I think you've had, possibly for some of you, several relationships where you were very hopeful about that person, but they weren't. They weren't of like minds. They didn't resonate over the same things. And I think there's been a process of learning that there are some aspects of your world that just don't really, you know, this meeting of like minds, meeting on equal terms is really important, whether that's your ability to communicate well together, whether it's meeting emotionally, you know, emotional awareness, but there's stuff around this that is being brought into kind of balance. And it's almost as though your kind of spirit team have said, well, you know, actually this person, I mean, we're all unique individuals on our own pathways, but I feel like you guys, you're not the kind of person who can just rub along nicely and accept something that feels I almost want to say mundane, and that seems sort of a crazy thing, because I don't mean it in a judgmental way. Whatever we do, I mean, I think there's something really important about what I would call the mundane stuff of everyday life, and the groundedness and the humbleness of the stuff that we do and how we do it. Something very, you know, even sacred about kind of like doing the washing up and, you know, just the basic stuff of life. We can be completely centered in our own space of sort of spiritual pathway, whatever we're doing. But I think it is this connection to that kind of pathway. I think you're needing somebody who is particularly resonant to your capacity to see the world in a particular way, your openness, your awareness, heightened levels of awareness. And I do feel, you know, there's something about you being able to shine completely in some way, shape or form, whether this is community based, whether it's a project, whatever this is, there's something that you're stepping into, working on. And this is the point at which you meet this person. It's really, really clear. You will be given signs and signals along the way to support you. It's interesting, actually. It reminds me as well of thinking about, you know, I was saying about comments with cards. You know, sometimes people pop into, you know, the comments of, and I can't respond to them all because there are too many, but thank you for commenting. I do read them. And, you know, sometimes someone will say, you know, these are very positive readings, but it never happens. And actually, sometimes readings are coming in. I mean, there's always a lower vibration and a higher vibration to everything. You know, even our emotions have lower and higher vibrations. That's part of the purpose of them. And the lower and higher vibration when you're reading is, you know, we're looking at possibilities. You know, often what we're shown is the potential pathway ahead. And sometimes that reading will be totally, right now, this is going to happen for you immediately, and it does. At other times, a reading may be giving you the sign, the synchronicity, the hope to say, look, this is coming. You know, this is coming. The point of reaching that isn't quite yet, but it is coming. Now, there is something about your uniqueness that means that you really, it's like you're not going to be happy unless you meet somebody who really resonates with you. Okay, you know, it's a bit like, it would be like you know, a vegan meeting you know, a devout carnivore. It's not a good match, because in an everyday way something's not going to quite resonate. But there's something about your own ethos of who you are. Now, this is somebody who's coming in. This is worth waiting for, because this person is going to completely align with you. Like minds, like souls coming together in harmony. I don't know if you can see in this card here. I hope it can. Can you see where these two figures are? Kind of got this face of an angel in this gigantic, I suppose it feels like a moon here. But can you see there's a harp here in there? It's very faint, but it's a harp. I mean, this is absolutely, you know, this is harmony. Okay, it's like you sing from the same page. That's really, and actually I think that's what you need, reading number 2. You need somebody who sings from the same page. Okay, and there's something that you're doing in your world that will take you into a setting where you are going to then meet this person. It's because you're going to shine, and you know, you'll be burning your bridges. Literally, you'll be leaving something behind. Moving, you're letting go of something. You're leaving one environment, moving into another, stepping up over one threshold into another. Now, whether this is, as said, maybe this is the trip of a lifetime you've been saving for, or it's a project you're working on, but it's something that will put you in a place of real joy. You're just going to love it. And that's where you're going to meet this person, and that's where the timing is coming in as well. Now, I am just going to draw a few more cards for you, Super Souls. Yeah, this is just going to beautifully align. I think it will be a place where, do you know, when you get there, I feel like you'll kind of look back and think, you know, sometimes there's frustration around that it hasn't happened yet. When you get there, you'll kind of look back, and again, it will really think, you'll be really in that zone of, do you know, this really was worth waiting for. You'll just know it. You'll just know that this, what was I ever worrying about? You know, it's got that kind of flavour to it. But let us ask, maybe catch a glimpse of the future for reading number 2, or be given more information about this happening. Those 2 cards. It's 3. Well, we'll go with them. Okay. Okay, so we have 7 of Cups, 2 of Swords, and the Fool. Super nice card. We have the Page of Wands, the 6 of Cups, the 10 of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the 4 of Cups. Okay, this is really interesting. Okay, so what we're being shown here, I think, is, look, when this person comes in, when you reach this, there's a turning point, and the turning point is coming within your own life, within your own circumstances. It is like stepping over a threshold. It's something, as I said, you're creating, you're moving onwards, upwards, you move house, you go on holiday, you do, there's something that is the turning point. It creates the space of new beginning. When it happens, it will almost be, I think, that you're in a whirlwind of busyness of doing. I think it's going to be quite a busy time for you. So whether you are, you know, when you're working at something, and you, like moving house, it's crazy busy, isn't it? There's so much to do. You feel like your feet are never going to touch the ground, and yet suddenly, amidst all of this, it happens, and it moves forwards, I think, very quickly. When it does, honestly, you're going to look back and think, what did I, you know, what was I ever worrying about? You know, but it is connected to a shift. It's connected to an opening, a shift, a move, an opportunity, a leaving something behind because you're moving to something else, whether it's a new area, a new job, or the creative space of new beginnings because you've launched a book, or whatever it is for you. That's the moment in time. And honestly, I don't think you will almost be so busy that you won't see it coming. You know, I truly think you'll literally be in that space where you think, you know, wow, how did that happen so fast? Yeah, literally, you know that bit when you, if you're trying to manifest something, let's say here you are manifesting your soulmate, and your focus is, you know, this is the kind of person that I want, and you're going through your affirmations and all the things that you do, which is amazing, and it's holding the energy. I'm not saying you shouldn't, you know, and then you suddenly find yourself rushed off your feet with something, and so you don't check in on that dating site, or you don't do whatever you would be doing to try and move it forwards consistently, and then bingo, it just happens. The timing, it's like, where did that come from? I'd taken my eyes off the ball, I just didn't have the time, I was on holiday, I was focused on something else, and suddenly, just out of that space of it's never going to happen, it happens. And I think it's going to move forwards really quickly. You're going to be leaving the past behind. Yeah, so, and I am seeing this, that for some of you, there's maybe been a few, I wouldn't say ups and downs, but you've possibly met some people along the way and have really, you know, again, it's helped you see, to define the niche, the important, the resonance. You've actually, interestingly enough, I think you've needed those experiences. You know, you've gone up you've climbed some ladders, you've wound down some snakes, but I think you needed those choices to help you to really know with clarity what is really right for you. It's helped you to develop discernment, and it means that you can recognize that person, but it's definitely coming at a point of change, transition, shift, opening in some way, shape or form within the context of your life. Literally, at a point when you are, I think, rushed off your feet, celebrating the move, the going forwards. I think you'll be literally celebrating in that space. You know, for some of you, it could even be like going to a festival but there's something of celebration, of joy, or of you being seen, or something you're working on, something that comes to fruition, and bingo, that's the point when the door opens. And you will be given a lot of signs, signals, synchronicities along the way that are highlighting that this is coming. We have the rune of joy. I mean, this is beautiful. And I do think it could well, for many of you, be connected to some aspect of your calling, which is why it's so important that you meet someone of like mind who resonates with you, because they're going to be really supportive of who you are and your pathway forwards. You're really going to have some resonance with this person. You may even have some quite similar shared experiences of the past as well, actually. So again, it's like those two souls uniting, singing from the same page. That's really what we're seeing. The rune of joy, you know, the mist lifts, we are carried across the gap by the wings of heaven. It's a new dawn. Beautiful, beautiful energy, this reading. So super souls, we haven't been given specific timing, but we kind of have at the same time. So whatever you are processing, working on, that's the point that I think this is going to happen for you. It seems very clear, actually. Wonderful, wonderful people. Reading number 2. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to get notification of any of my other readings, I post readings every single Sunday for weekly guidance, and there's a ton of spontaneous readings like these that I post with very specific guidance and very specific questions. So if you have a wobble along the way, you know, check out that Timeless Readings playlist. You'll always find a reading there. It is a resource to help you to stay on track if you ever have a moment where you're thinking this isn't happening. This is really saying it is. Super souls, if you subscribe and press the little bell icon, things should come into your stream as soon as I post them. I am sending you all the love in the world. This looks like such an amazing future ahead with you, because this is the right person for you. Okay, and you know, this is not about just finding a partner. This is about finding that soulmate, that person who resonates with you soul to soul, and that is why it's worth the wait. Wonderful yous. I am sending you all the love in the world, and I look forward to seeing you for some of my other readings. Tons and tons of love. Welcome, reading number 3. You have been guided to this reading by the Stay Optimistic About Your Love Life, Positive Thinking and Faith Will Bring You Romance, Berkana, the Rune of Growth. Now this is a fruit-bearing rune that suggests a whole new phase of life coming to you. And then we have this beautiful butterfly, which I've deliberately placed upside down because it says created for you. So, and we have this really powerful image here of someone offering you something, literally. Yeah, literally coming up with an offering. Let's place this here and we'll draw. First of all, we're going to draw some astrology cards, and we're going to throw the astrology dice and see whether we can get an indication for you about timing. Okay, now both of those. So what you actually have, I need to pull them in so you can see. Okay, now this is very, very interesting. So we have the north nodes, and is it the south node? I'm not quite sure which way up. Well, I've seen, and either way, we're in the realm of the nodes, which is to do with fate, destiny, calling, your pathway. And we have Aries, which is very much about new beginnings. This would suggest that something is actually potentially going to happen pretty quickly. Right, because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Let's draw some other cards and see what else we're shown around the timing, please, for reading number 3. Yeah. There's your card. Right, okay, reading number 3. Let's check in and see what we have. So we have the sun, source energy, super fab. We have the card of Libra, balance. We have second house resources and 12th house introspection. Wow. Then fire element desire, which also tunes in with Aries. Okay. Curiously enough, reading number 3, timing. Very, very interesting, because this feels like the bullseye, you know, when the arrow hits the apple. Bingo, bullseye, here it is, just created for you, something just for you. Source energy. Everything is aligning here. Right, I think we're actually being given an indication of something that is more than just timing here for you. Reading number 3. I think this is about something that you love, something you feel passionate about. Yeah, it's something that you do, that you love. You may not have done it for a while, even possibly. But there's something you love, something that really fires you up, or something you want to do. You know, what do you enjoy doing? What's your passion? What's your desire? What fires you up? That, I feel, is where you're going to meet this person, whatever that is for you. It's something that makes you feel balanced. You know, maybe if you, I don't know, if you're passionate, whatever you're passionate about. Let's say you're passionate about films and you go join a film group where you see films every week. I think that's where you're going to see this person, meet this person. If you are passionate about dancing or reading or singing, or, you know, you want to play an instrument or learn a language, there's something you feel passionate about. Something that's created just for you. It's a place of transformation. We have the butterfly. This is the place and the timing. It's something that actually leaves you feeling balanced. It's something that feels right to you. Whatever that be, it could be a personal, I think it's a personal thing rather than a work thing. This feels like something in your own personal desire. It could be gardening, it could be playing board games, it could be, you know, whatever it could be. You know, it could be, well, literally, it's something that leaves you feeling fab when you do it. Okay, you come away feeling satisfied, you come away feeling balanced. It's something that you go and do or connect with, whereby you, not only does it fire you up and you just love it, you love every second. It's one of those circumstances or things that, you know, when you go and do something and you're so involved in it, like playing a game, for example, that whatever is going on in your life at home or all of the circumstances, you find this is the thing that when you go and do it, you just switch off completely, and all the stuff that was previously bothering you, you just forget about it because you're so absorbed by what you're doing, and it feels so great, and that just feels amazing, and it's wonderful. And that, I think, is where you're going to meet your soulmate. This is where you're going to meet them. It's at something that is so personal to you. This is where the bullseye will come, as it were. Yeah, something you feel passionate about. Let's ask for more information. Just say as well, with the rune of growth, this is a whole new phase of life. Berkana is the beginning of, the beginning of something. It's the rune of, in essence, of birthing something new. So what I would say is it's quite likely it's either something you used to do and maybe because of the whole pandemic you had to stop, or it's something that you've always wanted to do and you're thinking of trying it. And when you go, it's going to be amazing. And not only that, but you meet this person there. Or it's something that you have already, you're just about to start, but you're either returning to it, but there's a new phase of something here. So it may not be a new something. For some, it will be something completely new. You've always fancied doing it. Maybe you wanted to go and learn a new language and you've just seen a class and you enroll and you go and you just find it's great. whatever that is, there's something very much about fate and destiny tuning in here. I don't know with this dice which way up we read it, whether it's North Node or South Node, but either way, the nodes are about our kind of karmic pathway, our destiny. You know, the something that we're meant to do, the calling, and Aries, fire, passion, desire. Either way, this is something that literally transforms you when you do it. Yeah, singing group. I mean, I could go through endless examples. Perhaps you want to go and study astrology and you join an astrological society, but there's something that you feel dedicated to. You love it. It switches you off from all the stuff that would normally be going on in your head. When you go and do it, you're just there, you love it, and this, I think, is where I think you're going to meet this person. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. It is literally like a gift. Let's draw cards and see what else we're shown. We'll draw some tarot cards. See this card at the bottom really wanting to be shown as well. Super Souls, for those of you that ask about the cards sometimes in the comments, and there are so many comments, I'm so sorry I can't reply to you all, but I do read them. Thank you for your suggestions as well for these spontaneous readings. And if you are interested in the cards, which cards I'm using, I do always list them so you can find them really, really easily. I feel like all three of those are coming through, and another. It's very interesting. Let's see what we've got here. See what we are shown. Okay, so we have the Magician. Absolutely, this is something that fires you up. You love it. You absolutely love it. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Emperor. Oh wow. And we have the Ten of Pentacles sitting under second house resources. Two of Pentacles. Ace of Wands. Okay. Seven of Cups. The Hanged Man. Three of Cups. Lovely. Seven of Swords. Okay, cool. Right. This really is something, the arena here is something that you love. It is at an early stage. I said I think some of you are either thinking of starting something, or you've already started something, or you're returning something. I always feel, you know, with the Two of Wands, it's kind of like it's at its beginning. It's starting to emerge. We have the Ace of Wands too. So this is definitely a new phase of something in your world. So it's something you've joined recently, or you're about to join it, or you're returning to it. Aries. I think it's something you're very good at, I need to say as well. I think this is something you're actually very successful at. Do you know, it could even be something, you know, like a hobby that you are thinking of. You're thinking, gosh, I love this that much that this hobby could become a career pathway. It could become something that I'd really love to do full time. Whatever it is, you are definitely very, very, it's something that is seriously active, and you're going to be very good at it. So if you are learning languages, maybe you've thought on a part-time basis, oh, I could learn this, and then you find you have a passion for it, and you're just one of those people that picks this up really easily. You're definitely going to be very good at this. I do feel it's really, we're seeing, you know, Ten of Pentacles, success. So the fact that this person, I think, shares the same love of this, could be anything. personal to you, but it's something you adore, you love. It leaves you feeling really fulfilled, and you're always wanting to learn more and more and more about it. It's almost like the more you do, the more you want. It could be a cookery course, it could be wine tasting, it could be just anything, flower arranging, planting trees, whatever it is for you. It's something that seriously fires you up. It leaves you feeling as though, yeah, it's really interesting. It rewards you. It's both really, really rewarding, and simultaneously, I think possibly it's something that you give to as well. But it's super, it's fab. That's what we're seeing here. This is where it's going to happen. This is absolutely, now we have 2 7s here. This is very, very interesting. So what the 7s, I think, are saying to us here, this lovely row of cards at the top here. I think when you meet this person, I think both of you are going to be a little bit kind of not quite sure how to talk to each other. Actually, you know, when because you're at something, you're at a class, or you're at a whatever it is, you know, whatever that is for you, because there's a purpose to what you're doing. Yeah, this is where we have the pentacles coming in here, because it's something that fulfills you. I'm not convinced it's a job. I think it's more likely, if it's connected to your work, then it's a vocation. It's something you're doing that you just love. I think for most of you, it really is a passion, a hobby, or something. And I think you'll see this person and then you'll think, but what if, you know, we're both here with purpose. So it's almost as though it would be an environment where, because you're connected to this, you're in this circumstance, you've come with a purpose to learn another language. I think you're going to kind of not quite know how to speak to each other, not quite know, you know, there'll be a bit of a sort of a, you know, when you catch sight of somebody across the room or something, it's that sort of scenario, and you think, well, gosh, I really like this person, but, you know, I'm not sure if they like me, because actually we're here to do this stuff. We're here to, you know, play chess or sing songs, and that there'll be this whole kind of like, I'm not quite sure whether, you know, how do I talk to this person? You know, how do I let them know that I really like them, but without, you know, those sort of insecurities that we face, where we're kind of almost looking for signs and they're kind of looking for signs, and almost that sort of circumstance, you know, when you almost the one person that you really, really, really want to talk to is the one person you're not going to go talk to, because you feel so, you know, because of the way you feel about them, basically. You know, I think it's that kind of a scenario that we're being shown here. So there's all this potential here. And look at this beautiful fire element, desire, and this beautiful triangle here with the 3 of Cups. And then these triangles here in the 7 of Cups. You know, the 7 of Cups is sort of almost like an emotional choice, a decision. 7 of Swords, sort of not quite knowing how to say something. The Hanged Man, you know, am I reading the signs correctly? Does this person really like me, or do they not really like me? The Butterfly of Transformation, the Offering here, you know, created for you. So this is, I think we're going to draw more cards to follow this through, reading number 3, because I sort of feel like it's going to be one of those, you know, when you really, really, really want to talk to this person, but you don't know whether you should or you can. And I think they're going to feel the same about you. And this is one of those scenarios where you just, because you're there with a different purpose, you've come because you are doing whatever you do that you love. And therefore it makes it almost, and I think it's like the one person in the room that you're not going to talk to, even though it's the one person you really want to. So let's just ask for some extra advice here around this, because this person is firing you up. This person, the moment you see them, you're just going to think, oh, you know, I really like this person. What can I do about this? So, and there's so much potential here. So much potential. Right, let's ask for reading number 3. May we know a little bit more about how to move this forwards? What can reading number 3 do when they see this person? What kind of advice can be given, please? I'm seeing another card here that really feels important for you guys. And this too. Okay, Page of Wands. We have the Moon. We have the Five of Pentacles. Oh, this is gorgeous. We have the Nine of Wands. And we have the card of the Lovers. Okay, right. Okay. Right. This is somebody who, honestly, this is someone who is going to really fire you up. Like, you're just going to want to jump for joy when you see them, and then you're going to dive into this sort of, oh, but what if kind of stuff. You know, what if they don't like me? What, you know how it just raises those insecurities. Right, it's very, very clear here, actually. The key here is, I just want to say, be bold, is what I want to say. You know, be you, be your authentic self. Don't dive into the realms of emotionality. This is a time to, it's like, this is a time to be holding, rather than diving into the realms of what I would call the insecurities that rise up the moment you see someone you really, really like. The key here, and I do think you're being given the key, is kind of like, is to shine. This is something you love doing. Literally shine. This is not going to be as big a hurdle as you think it's going to be. That's what we're being shown here. Get up, be that person, you know, ask if they'd like a coffee, you know, shine, basically be your buoyant self. Go talk to everyone. You know, if you're feeling really anxious, then make sure you make an effort to check in with lots of people, so that you then also get to check in with this person. You know, be yourself, reach out, connect, don't be held back. It's really, really okay. This is definitely, this person is going to feel the same way. So this is the way to navigate this. Recognize that this person is feeling, I think you're going to have exactly the same reaction to each other. Okay. I love this card with the Moon. We have a white wolf and a black wolf, and here she is diving into the depths. Okay, but you love the same thing. Okay, the key here is to recognize that you're both, there's something very similar about you. It's like you're mirroring something in each other here. The black wolf, the white wolf. Both of you are feeling that same jumping for joy and yet great deep emotionality. There's something really similar about you in this way. Not only do you love something, that a common interest, so something that really brings you together, but actually I think both of you are really concerned about exactly the same thing, which is lovely. As long as you both don't let it limit your horizons. You know, Aries, this person fires you up. It's a new beginning created for you. Yes, stay optimistic about your love life, positive thinking. Now look at this card. Sort of said to you right at the beginning, if this person is offering a gift. Okay, now, it's really okay to reach out. It's really, really okay to reach out, to say something. And if this person reaches out to you, it's really, really okay to receive. You know how sometimes someone will say something and then afterwards you think, I don't know, it's like you've already got a coffee, for example, and then somebody comes along and offers you a coffee, and you go, and this is the one person you really want to say yes to, but you don't say yes, you say no. Absolutely say yes. You know, ditch the one you've got and go off and get another one. It's that feel to it here. This is a situation that's being created for you. Say yes. Really say yes. This is not as big a hurdle as you think, because actually I think you're both feeling the same way. Okay? Don't be overwhelmed by your emotions. You know, your emotions are actually a testament to your desire. Okay, and they are a testament to the connection. I mean, look at the colours in the fire element, desire, and you know, the Magician, the Two of Wands, Ace of Wands, the Lovers. It's all coming together. Get up, shine. It's like, you know, if you're going to a dance class, for example, then ask everyone to dance so that you then actually definitely get an opportunity to be with this person too. That there's something about just putting yourself out there. Don't be afraid to hold back. Don't let your emotions get in the way, because there's a very big difference. You know, we can interpret emotions in very specific ways. For anyone new to my channel, if you already know my readings, you'll know that I worked as an accredited counsellor, a psychotherapist for 28 years. And, you know, emotions are very powerful. They really, really, really can drive us. And sometimes they can drive us in the opposite direction to the route that we want to take. Your emotions, the strength of your emotions are a testimony to the strength of connection with this person. And that's really being affirmed here. Your spirit team is saying to you, look, this is a two-way thing here. You're both feeling it. Okay, you're both feeling this. This fires you up, so it's awesome. You have really common ground. Okay, it's lovely. So, find a way. Don't be afraid to find a way to speak to this person, to reach out, to you know, just, they're going to be feeling exactly the same way. And it's really worth knowing that, because sometimes if our emotions are so strong, we interpret them as negative, or we delve into the space of emotions that are really speaking from the past and past fears and past insecurities rather than the present. This is not a time to delve into emotions of the past. This is a time to embrace what you feel as an acknowledgement of the intensity of your feelings. Be your most amazing self. Reading number 3. Be your most amazing self. Step up, not down. Be visible rather than invisible. And just speak openly from the heart. Be available to receive. Don't be afraid to reach out, because I think it's going to be returned, you know, with much appreciation. This feels just lovely. It's really interesting, but I feel like I've got this little itching to draw some more cards for you guys. I just feel like we're just needing a teensy little bit more of an indication here around this. I don't know why, but that's what I'm feeling, so that's what we're going to do. Just draw from this pack and we'll just ask for a little bit more of an indication. Queen of Cups. Ah, yes. Okay. Again, this is about emotional balance. Yeah. Self-care, emotional balance, and I'm really aware of the moon here, the full moon at her head. Okay. Gosh, yes, again, we're being given such clear messages here. We often feel more emotional at the time of the full moon. I think that's, you know, well recorded by many, many people. So we really are being asked really to, your spirit team really here are acknowledging, they really are acknowledging that don't be overwhelmed by the emotional intensity of this connection. Actually, it's a validation of the strength of feeling and not of anything in any way that's negative. You know, sometimes we can be so afraid of the intensity of our emotions, but the intensity of your emotions are a gift. They're showing you that this is absolutely, absolutely right for you. Let's see what else we're shown. Yes, 9 of Swords. Loving it. The thoughts you have may swirl around your head a bit. You know, when you, again, if you're, certain emotions will trigger certain thinking patterns. There's a direct relationship between the two. I wrote a book about this. I'm not doing this reading to plug my book, but I will put the link in the information box, and I have a whole library. I'll put all the links to anything and everything that might be helpful for you guys in the information box and the comments for phone users. But certain emotions trigger certain thinking patterns which often generate more of the same emotion. So for example, anxiety. If you're anxious about something, let's say you meet somebody and you think, oh well, they're amazing, and you're anxious, that anxiety will create lots of what if thinking patterns. Anxiety creates what if thinking patterns. What if this happens? What if they don't like me? What if, what if? And the more you think of the what ifs, the more anxiety is created. Disappointment, you know, disappointment creates thinking patterns. So if you've experienced disappointment in the past, disappointment creates thinking patterns that go along the lines of, it'll never happen to me, all the good ones are taken, it's bound not to work out, nothing ever goes right for me, which creates more disappointment, and it creates an expectation of greater disappointment. So there are very specific connections here. You're being shown with the Nine of Swords, I think, not to go through, don't let your mind and emotions get into, your mind and emotions can spiral downwards, or if you understand those emotions, they can spiral upwards, because you can eliminate those thinking patterns and listen to what your emotions are really telling you. Okay, which in this instance is a depth of connection and feeling and possibility. This is what we're being shown here for you. Reading number 3. Yay. Transformation. Really process your emotions and your feelings. This is not as big a deal as you think it is. And transform your emotions into a space where they really can empower you. Okay, again, use the library, my free library. There's a ton of stuff, lots of meditations that will teach you to release emotions as well as understanding how they work for you. Yeah, the universe, super card. This is, interestingly enough, this passion and connection, this is a very transformational relationship for you. Again, this is the butterfly created for you. This is the nodes, that karmic pathway. This is a relationship that I think holds the key to transform former insecurities into a space where you, it's like refinding that self-belief, that belief in many things for some of you, quite multi-layered. That trust in life again, that trust in the universe. This is a really significant connection for you. Okay, so be optimistic. Don't go down that road of, gosh, it'll never happen to me, or that person couldn't possibly like me. That's what I'm really seeing here, and we're being given very clear advice about this connection between mind and emotions here. So really good advice about how to, you know, transform these. Listen to yourself. This is not, just bear in mind, it's a bit like the example, like this might seem a strange example, but you know if you are in a group and you're going around the group and everybody has to give feedback, and as it goes around person to person and person, and you're getting more and more anxious about the fact that it's going to get to you, and what will I say, and has it all been said already, and all that kind of stuff. You go around the group. Do you know, if you're anxious and you feel like you're the only one, everybody else seems so confident in the group, I guarantee if you are in a group of people and you're feeling anxious, you will not be the only one. And it'll be the person who says, do you know, I'm really anxious about this bit. And everybody else will give a sigh of relief. It will be like, oh, wow, you know. There's something around that kind of flavour here for you in the advice of this. It's like, if you're feeling anxious about this, actually so is the other person. And the moment you say, gosh, I'm feeling really nervous about talking to you, or whatever it is, it will suddenly dissolve and be okay. You know, when you are just being you and you say how it is, it will just dissolve and it will come together, and the other person just says, do you know, I feel just the same way. And this is what we're being shown here. Don't let your head tangle your emotions, or your emotions tangle your head. This is a connection that will be very transformative for you, I think, for you both. It's super good. And again, hold that optimistic, positive outlook rather than that negative one that is connected to both, you know, thinking patterns and emotions that are far more generated from past experiences. Wow, reading number 3. I'm so excited for you, because this is just gorgeous. And the fact that you're doing something that you love, whatever this is, it's either something you're about to embark on, you're thinking about it and you're wanting to, or you're returning to it. It's something you love, it fires you up, and so will this person. Super Souls, it's a gorgeous reading. Tons and tons of love. If you'd like to get notification of any of my readings, if you subscribe and hit the bell icon, they should come into your stream. I post readings every Sunday for weekly guidance, and I have a timeless readings playlist where you can always access readings that answer very specific questions. It's there as a resource if you're having a wobble or you just want to touch base and get some guidance when you need it. You'll hopefully always find the reading that is right for you there. And as I said, I put a ton of stuff into the world, my library, all kinds of other things. So I'll put all the relevant links in the information box and comments for you. Thank you so much for joining me, all of you. Thank you for those of you who give back through the super thanks, and also thank you to those of you who are supporting my work ongoing through Patreon. And you are really appreciated, and I hope you guys are enjoying the extra tutorials that I'm putting on Patreon for you as well. Tons and tons of love to you all.